This already started off all wrong, and nobody's talking about the size of the problem. I'm Ethan Carter, and if you think this Seahawks season is going to be smooth, safe, and predictable, you've got another thing coming. Uchenna Nuosu has become a medical mystery. Trey Hendrickson might be on his way, or blow up somewhere else. A veteran tight end could be the glue that holds this offense together. And in the middle of it all, there's a rookie already putting pressure on two vets. What all of this really reveals is much deeper. We're on the verge of a total transformation in Seattle. But does anyone out there have the guts to pull that trigger? Well, my fellow Seattle Seahawks fan, before we dive into today's deep dive on our team, a quick request from me to you. If you're a regular viewer of the Seahawks Insider Report and you dig our breakdowns but haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It's crucial for the channel and for our Seahawks fan community to keep growing. Thanks a ton for your support. You know that player you count on as a pillar of your system, and then suddenly, he just vanishes. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening with Uchenna Nuosu. When Mike McDonald stepped up to the podium in this first week of training camp, many expected a chill update, something like, he's progressing well or he'll be back soon. But what we got was a gut punch. Nuosu is a long way from returning. A long way, and that changes everything. The edge rusher, who signed a 3-year extension in 2023, has barely seen the field the last 2 years. First, a pec injury. Then, the knee. Now, PUP list. No real timetable. No physical confidence. No guarantees. And the most concerning part isn't just his absence itself. It's the pattern. When a guy of this caliber becomes synonymous with uncertainty, the entire defensive foundation feels it. Remember what happened when we lost Cliff Avril and Cam Chancellor almost at the same time? The defensive identity fractures. Nuosu, when healthy, is explosive, physical, has the red and motor to make a 3-down impact. But when you have 2 straight years with fewer than 7 games, you're no longer a certainty. You become a risk. And for a team desperately needing to rebuild its defensive identity under new leadership, that's too heavy a burden. Technically, it would still be possible to cut Nuosu and free up more than $11 million in cap space, but that decision would come with an $8.5 million dead cap hit and require him to pass a physical, something that, according to internal sources, seems unlikely today. The more probable scenario, then, is that the front office is banking on a long-term recovery, keeping Nuosu on the roster until the last possible minute, hoping to have him healthy at least by the end of the season. But let's be real, that kind of hope rarely saves a defense. It prolongs the problem. And meanwhile, the clock is ticking, the urgency is rising. And the name of a certain all-pro pass rusher is starting to circulate heavily behind the scenes in Seattle. If Nuosu has become an absence, someone will need to become a dominant presence. But who could fill that void without losing the pressure Seattle desperately needs? Maybe a certain sack leader from last season? Imagine trading physical uncertainty for an avalanche of sacks. Because that's what we're talking about when Trey Hendrickson's name surfaces in Seattle. The NFL's sack leader in 2024, with an absurd 17.5 quarterback takedowns, is on a collision course with the Cincinnati Bengals. Contract disputes, a souring atmosphere, and training camp absence. And guess what? The Seahawks are watching. This isn't just fan forum chatter. It's real cap analysis, timing, and context. With Nuosu's persistent injury, Noah Fant's cut freeing up cap space, and the defense gasping for air in terms of pressure, Seattle emerges as one of Hendrickson's most plausible destinations, and it's no exaggeration to say it would be the most impactful addition since Leonard Williams arrived. The question is the cost. SpotRack estimates Hendrickson could command a new deal around $38 million annually, and the Bengals, of course, aren't just giving him away. A trade would require valuable picks and a bold decision from the front office. But what if this is the difference between an average season and a dominant defense? Remember what happened in 2013 when Cliff Avril arrived? The defensive line became a wrecking ball. Now think, Hendrickson on one side, Williams inside, and Boy Mayfair rapidly developing on the other. That completely changes the game. And it also takes pressure off DeMarcus Lawrence, who at 33 needs intelligent rotation. The technical fit is clear. Hendrickson has read and react ability, lateral explosion, and above all, durability. He played all 34 available games over the last 2 seasons, the exact opposite of Nuosu. And even with the rise of Derek Hall and Mayfair, neither of them has the disruptive impact Hendrickson has already proven to have. Jadeveon Clowney is also mentioned in rumors, but let's be honest, Clowney is a complementary piece. Hendrickson changes the equation. What's more, if Seattle wants to make real noise in the NFC, they need to turn at least one unit of the team into absolute elite. The defensive line is the most viable path. The window is open, but for how long? Will John Schneider have the guts to pay the price now, or will we spend another season in the eternal promise of reconstruction? The veteran fan knows that smell. It's the smell of opportunity about to slip away. And while the front office evaluates numbers, on offense, a veteran name might appear to be the cornerstone Sam Darnold needs. Sometimes the smartest move isn't the flashiest, it's the most strategic. And the potential arrival of Jordan Aikens to the Seattle Seahawks has all the makings of that kind of play. Amidst rumors of pass rushers, expensive signings, and blockbuster trades, Aikens' name goes almost unnoticed. But those who truly understand the game know this guy could be exactly what Clint Kubiak and Mike Macdonald's new offense needs. At 33 years old and with a solid career with the Texans and Browns, Aikens offers something rare in today's NFL: security. He's not a star, not a headline, but on third down in the red zone and reading coverage, he's one of the most reliable TEs of his generation. After Noah Fant's cut, Seattle was left with a tight end room full of young talent, but also uncertainty. Elijah Arroyo has potential, Blake Barner is promising, but neither of them yet has the maturity or technical refinement that Aikens brings. He can be that security blanket tight end that average quarterbacks need to survive. And let's be honest, Sam Darnold needs security, especially if he wants to keep Drew Lock and Jaylen Milro out of the starting quarterback conversation. Aikens is the kind of player who turns a risky pass into an 8-yard gain, who reads the blitz before the snap and changes his route to save the QB, who quietly becomes an emotional and technical anchor in a developing group. And the best part? The cost is extremely low. His previous contract with the Browns was around $2 million annually, absolutely viable within the Seahawks' current cap reality. Moreover, signing Aikens doesn't hinder the development of the young players. On the contrary, it accelerates it. He can be a mentor, a guide, and still contribute on the field. Remember what Zach Miller represented in the transition years pre-Russell Wilson? Exactly that. And with the NFC West becoming an increasingly tactical war, having an intelligent, experienced, and reliable player in decisive moments can be the difference between a 7-10 campaign and a wild card run. All of this with a light, almost invisible cap hit. But what perhaps no one is seeing is the most important collateral effect of this possible arrival. It changes the pressure on the quarterback, because with Aikens on the roster, Sam Darnold gains more control, and the rookie who's coming in hot is losing ground, a guy named Jaylen Milro. No one imagined he'd be shaking things up already. But Jaylen Milro is messing with the balance in Seattle. And I'm not just talking about the depth chart. The kid arrived quietly, third-string quarterback, discrete role, long-term development. But what started as a project has become a buzz in the training camp hallways. And when Brady Henderson of ESPN says the team will find ways to get Milro on the field right away, we need to stop and pay attention. Yes, he's still behind Sam Darnold and Drew Lock, but he's no longer just a developing body. Milro is waking up at 4:30 a.m. to practice plays. No one asked him to, he just does it. He's studying the playbook alone on the field before everyone else arrives. And that, my friend, gets the coaching staff's attention. Mike Macdonald has already praised his demeanor, talking about his composure, his read time, his fundamental base. Clint Kubiak went further. He said the kid has hunger and discipline. And in professional football, that opens doors faster than any highlight. Technically, Milro is raw, physical, a cannon running with the ball. And unlike projects like Taysom Hill, Seattle insists he will be developed as a quarterback, not a gadget. But that doesn't stop specific packages from already being designed. Packages where the opposing defense has to decide between covering the run or staying deep. And that's where things get interesting, because while Darnold is the starter, at least on paper, he's also coming off a dismal playoff performance with Minnesota, where he was swallowed by an aggressive defense and completely lost offensive rhythm. He himself admitted, "We failed as an offense, and much of that was my fault." And that shadow, combined with Milro's early rise, creates an environment where 2 bad games are enough for a change to happen. What's more, Milro brings the kind of threat that changes how the opponent defends. 1 or 2 20-yard runs on 3rd down and boom, the opposing defense has to open up. The coordinator has to change the plan. The passing game breathes. That's what Milro offers, even without being the starter. And with an offensive line still adapting, a QB who can escape pocket collapse is gold. It's still early, of course, but make no mistake, the movement has already begun. And perhaps the biggest sign of that is Drew Lock's silence. Because if Milro keeps this up, the veteran might become 3rd in line faster than he thinks. And that changes the entire future of Seattle's most important position. We can't pretend everything's fine anymore. The Seahawks taking the field in 2025 are a team pressured by injuries, driven by rumors, and challenged by hungry rookies. Every piece of news today exposes a crack, but also reveals an opportunity. The time for silent rebuilding is over. Either Seattle flips the switch now, or they'll be swallowed by their own hesitation. And you, the diehard fan, who saw Largent shine and felt the Legion roar, do you still believe in this turnaround? If so, comment below. Does the 12th man still have the power to ignite the Emerald City? Prove it. This is only for those who truly feel it.